That was tough. That was really hard. You cannot pass. I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame Monero. And one day I knew I had to come back here. I had to come back and get on the merry-go-round and eat cotton candy. Okay, a little bit better. Well, I don't feel too good, but I feel awful, in fact. But after many days, a whole week even, of not practicing Python and not doing stream, I'm just gonna force myself to do a little bit. I'm having a hard time. I'm in a lot of pain. I know I shouldn't complain, but it's true. I shouldn't complain about it, but it's true. I was thinking this morning about something I read about how mindset is so important to survival. And I believe that to be true. But even though I believe it's true, do I really embody that? I don't think so. I think a lot of times I leave my mindset alone. I don't interrogate it. I just accept whatever it is. And my mindset tends to be pretty negative. I tend to focus on all the bad things. I forget about what's good or at least neutral. I focus on how I failed out of grad school and I couldn't afford to go back and finish my degree. I focus on, how I lost my job and how I had extreme difficulty in the job market. I think about how I spent my time, waste my time on silly games and silly things that aren't important. I think about how I'm behind, how I'm not good at anything. I think about what people say to me. I think about what people say to me all the time. I don't want to think about it anymore, but I think about it all the time. I wanna want to prove that someone as bad as me can persist. But I'm having a hard time. Yeah, I am. I don't even really remember where I left off. I'm pretty sure we did these. I don't think I got as far as 12. I think I did that. Yeah, I think we did function. Let's look. What's that? Yeah, we definitely did this one. Oh yeah, and then 11 was the one that had the different ones. I did scope, I did geometry. Did I finish lowercase? Hmm. I don't remember. This first step is to write a function lower character. It seems familiar. That can return the result of converting a single character to lowercase. Oh yes, and then we used the character in ordinal. Like this. Or whatever, but it's the opposite. And it was something like 67. 65. And then what was the highest? One. Oh, then we did that whole map. Yeah, I remember this now. Yeah. It's when did we do the map though? Was that on the next? I'm sure we did it. I just don't remember when. No, I did geometry. What's tips? I feel like I stopped here. Am I confused? Maybe I'm confused. Tips. Print options. Oh, I did read this before. For loops and other increments. Yeah, I did read this. And I had a mental breakdown over this exercise. The print type, print type, type, print, print. But I think I understand it a tiny bit better now. Uh, Print outputs whatever the object in parentheses is as a string representation, but it has but it returns none. Oh, my tummy hurts. Um, And then I also got it confused because I did some of this in the REPL and then some of it in Python script. But the REPL doesn't behave the same way as a Python script because the REPL shows the output of some things that wouldn't actually be shown in a script. So I think that was confusing me too. Print a blank line. Meow, meow, meow. Of a blank line. A print of a print of a blank line is nothing. But the type of a print of a print of a blank type. Let me think. This prints a blank line. This prints nothing. The type of a print of a print is none. And the type of a type of a print of a print is type. And then to print that type, the type of a print so this prints a blank line. This prints none. A type of a print of a print is none type, but nothing prints. A type of a type is class type, but nothing prints. But then we print that class type, and we ask what's the type of a print of a type. And the type of a print is a none type. That doesn't print anything. And then you print the type of a print, which is the none type. Anyway, so this is 12. 13. List arrays. I don't remember this. Wait. Oh, it was all the way back here that we did this. I guess I have to go back and rewatch the VODs, but I think I might have deleted some of them, so I don't remember if this is in there. Meow, 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 meow. If you want to get good at something, you gotta practice a lot. You gotta practice every day. You gotta practice a lot. And just because other people and just because AI is better than you and will always be better than you, it doesn't mean you can't learn to be better at something. And just because you're stupid doesn't mean you can't try to learn anyway. Because you gotta pass the time one way or another. You know, eventually we're all gonna die, and we're all gonna be dead. We're not gonna be here anymore. You gotta pass the time before then some way. You don't want to spend all your time gooning to anime girls. You gotta spend some of it doing other fun things. A list is a sequence of variables. No, it's not. A list is a sequence of several variables grouped together under a single name. Instead of writing a program with many variables, x0, x1, x2, you can define a single variable x and access its members x of 0, x at index 1, x at index 2, etc. Most importantly, you can put other expressions and variables inside the square brackets, like I and I plus 1. This allows us to deal with arbitrarily large data sets using just a single small piece of code. One way to create a list is by enclosing several values separated with commas between square brackets. My list. The first value in the list, 1999, 4.5. This creates a list called my list of length 3. Each element of the list gets a number called its index. The initial element has index 0, the next element has index 1, and so forth. The individual variables comprising the list have the names list name, index number. So in this example, my list with the bracket 0 is a variable whose value is the string the first value in the list, and print my list 2 would print 4.5. You could change the values of the items in the list and print out entire list. So, updating and printing a list. Numbers 0, 1, 2, number 0, zilch. Print numbers, so then we should get zilch 1, 2. It's printed. Okay, fine. As you can see, number 0 is treated as if it were itself a variable. Oh, this is actually pretty cool though. Honestly, I never thought of it that way. I never thought of this way. It has a value and can be changed. Next, try to predict the final state of the visualized example below, then compare it with actually running the code. So my list 1, 10, 100, 1,000. For I in range 0 to 2, so 0, 1, my list I is equal to 2 times my list I plus I. So, for my list 0, 2 times my list 0, which is 1, is 2, plus I, which is 0, is 2. So that gets updated to 2. And then for 1, my list 1 is 10. 2 times my list 1, which is 10, is 20, plus 1, is 21. So we should get 2, 21, 100, 1000. But it's not printed or anything because I don't see that in this list. But that's what's going to be in my list. Yeah. What is the output of the following code fragment? Stuff 2, 25, 80, 12. Stuff at index 0 is 2. Stuff at index 2 is 80. Stuff at index 3 is 12. But we reassigned this 80 to 12. So we get 2, 25, 12, 12. What Python calls a list would be called an array in most other programming languages. Python also has something different and more advanced called arrays. Yeah, that's what I was confused about, because they started this chapter talking about arrays, but I never learned arrays yet. Efficient arrays of numeric values. This module defines an object type which can compactly represent an array of basic values: characters, integers, floating point numbers. Arrays are mutable sequence types and behave very much like lists, except that the type of object stored in them is constrained. The type is specified at object creation time by using a type code, which is a single character. The following type codes are defined: B, signed character, int; capital B, unsigned character, int; U, W character T, Unicode character, W, pi, U, C, S for Unicode character. Why are so many of these integers? Signed short, unsigned short, signed int, unsigned int, signed long, unsigned long, signed long, long, unsigned long, long, float, double. What the F? 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 It can be Unicode, 16 bits or 32 bits depending on the platform. ArrayU now uses W character T as C type instead of depreciated pi Unicode. Okay, whatever. Depreciated since version 3.3 will be removed in version 3.16. Please migrate to W type code. Added in version 3.13. Okay. Well. See also the C types and struct modules. Okay, I'm getting too lost in the sauce, but whatever. A common error. If you try to ask Python for an index that doesn't exist, it gives you an error. Out of range error. My list 1, 2, 4, 8. Print my list 4 at index 4, but there's only 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Trace back most recent call last. In line 2 of the code you submitted, print my list index 4, index error, list index out of range. In the above example, because my list has length 4 and the first index is 0, the maximum possible index is 3. Asking for an index of 4, 5, or anything larger gives this kind of error. Common useful operations. The length of a list, len list. To determine the number of items in a list, call the length function on that list. Look at how range is used in the following example. My list 312 pizza 34. Print my list has length my list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For I in range 0 to the length of my list 5. Print item at index I colon my list I. So item at 0, 3. Item at 1, 12. Item at 2, pizza. Item at 3, 3. Item at 4, 4. Yep. It is common to use len to write code that can work on lists of any length, like in the example above and in the next exercise. Monkey in the middle. Write a function, middle L, which takes the list L as its argument and returns. Let's go ahead and find it. Middle L, taking L, and it's going to return item in the middle. In order that the middle is well defined, you should assume that L has odd length. For example, calling middle 801112 should return 100 since it is positioned exactly in the middle of the list. So how do we find the middle number of a list of odd numbers? Well, we can use math, that's how. So we take the length of the list, and then we need to do, let's see. Let's see. Division would give us a float. Modulo would give us a remainder. Integer division would give us a rounded number, but that doesn't really help, does it? Maybe that is what I want. Do I want integer division? Um, 11 divided by 2, 5.5. 11 modulo 2 should be 1. 11 floor division 2. Would that be? That give me 6. Gives me 5. Oh. Is floor division? How many times does this number go into this other number? Ignoring remainders. But what's the middle point of 11? Let me think. Of 11 items starting with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But index 5. Okay, I reused floor division. Let's see. If L is 80,112,1, L equals 80,100, oops, 12,1. Length of L should be 5. 5 into the division 2 should be 2. And then L at len L should be 100. Yay! Are lists like strings? At this point, you might have noticed that the operations on lists are a lot like strings. Both of them can be passed to the length function to get their lengths, and both of them use xIndex to extract individual items. Lists and strings are indeed related. They are both sequence types in Python. The one major difference is that individual characters in strings cannot be changed. Yeah, strings are immutable, but lists are mutable. Error caused by trying to assign a value to a character in a string. Word is slack print word at position index 1, which is slack comma L. And then try to change the L to an N and have it be snack. And we get trace back most recent call last in line 3 of the code you submitted. Word index 1 equals N. Type error. String object does not support item assignment. And it gave this output slack out. For this reason, lists are called immutable type and strings are immutable. You will see a little bit more information about this in lesson 17. Concatenation and creation. From the lesson about string type, you may remember that it is possible to use and to merge, concatenate, two strings together. You could do the same thing with lists. List A, 3 go 7.1. List B, 4 high 1. List C is list A plus list B. Print the length of list C and we should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. And then print list C, we should get 3 go 7.1, 4 high 1. Similarly, you can use the multiplication symbol to extend the list by repetition. This is useful for creating a new list of a desired length. My phone number 967 plus 1 times 4. Put my phone number 967 1111. A new empty list 0 times 20 is a list of a lot of zeros. To solve the next exercise, use one of the operators we just introduced in a for loop. Write a function called natural numbers, which takes a positive integer n as input and returns a list one, two, blah blah blah, consisting of the first n natural numbers. Meow, blah, meow, blah, 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 blah. We want an integer n and a list consisting of first blank natural numbers. It's natural. I don't know what a natural number is. In mathematics, the natural numbers are the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, possibly excluding zeros. This is what the fuck is this difference? Is it an integer or no? The terms positive integers, non-negative integers, whole numbers, and counting numbers are also used. Shit. The set of natural numbers is commonly denoted by a bold N or a blackboard bold N. Natural numbers are used for counting. Okay, fine. Do they want us to start from 0, or should we assume they don't want us to start from 0? Either 0, 1, 2. Actually, they tell us. They told us they want us to start at 1. So, we want to return a list. We're going to call it list. um... For I range, we'll make an empty list first. What do we? The range 0, no, 1, starting at 1. 2, and plus 1. List at I. Hmm. Let's start at 0, because this is for the index. Is it still n plus 1, or is it just n? 0 to n. Let's see. If it's 2, if the number is 2, the first two natural numbers are 1, 2, which is index 0, 1, which is the same thing as range 0, 2. So, okay. List at I is going to be equal to I plus 1 turn to list. Right? So, for number 5, for I in range 0 to 5, list 0 will be equal to 0 plus 1 will be 1. Or list the next one will be equal to 2. This at the next 4 will be equal to 5. That should work. List assignment index average. Shit. Okay. We don't wanna, we wanna change this. Can I just add it? Does that work? No, it doesn't work either. How do you append to a list? Man! Oh man! Oh man! I forgot. Every week I forget how to do this. List append. I don't think that's how I was supposed to do this for some reason. I don't feel like this is how I was supposed to do this for some reason. They said something about concatenation. Use one of the operators we introduced. And a for loop. Was I supposed to use len? No. See, but these examples already had a list. My brain hurts. This one already had a list. This one already had a list called my list. This one had a list called L. This had a list A, B, C, whatever. This had a list already. I don't get it. Use one of the operators we introduced. And a for loop. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Maybe we have to use it like this. Is this? Let me think. This equals 0 plus 1, which is 1. Oh, this works. It works, it works, it works. It has a wrong length of 1 expected 7. Shit. Shit. Bullshit. Local. Do we still need an empty list? Can we do that? We can do that! We can do that instead! That works. Hey, that works. Hey! We could just do that. Whatever. Whatever. End of the line. Negative indices. To get the last item of a list, use this name, index -1. More generally, L minus K returns the kth item from the end of the list. Python handles this internally by translating it into L of the index length L minus K. This shortcut notation works for strings too. Palindrome. A palindrome is a word which is spelled the same forward as backwards. For example, the word race car is a palindrome. The first and last letter are the same, R. The second and second to last letters are the same, A. Write a function is palindrome S. This takes a string S as input and returns true if palindrome return true, else turn false. But how do we tell if it's a palindrome? If S at how do we check? How do we check? How do we check? Hmm. Hum, 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 hum. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, my brain hurts. My brain hurts, my brain hurts, my brain hurts. Starting at -1? L at index -k is translated as L at index length of L minus k. Hmm. The kth item from the end of the list. Let's test this if it's true. Let's say we have a list of 5. And we want list at -2. L at the index 5 minus 2 is the same thing as L at index 3. Zero, 1, 2, 3. That makes sense. Okay. Hmm. So maybe we don't need a for loop. If S, or maybe we do need one. For I in range 0 to length S. If the value at S index I is the same at the value of S this makes sense. Because we need 0 and then we need -1. Do we get K? My brain hurts. It's just not the same thing. If I is 0, we want the other one to be... Well, it doesn't have to be a length, it could just be... It's just another thing. We want the other one to be... -1. And if I is 0, we want it to be -2. So how do we get that? We get to... Negative? That's not negative, that's just minus. We get 0, and we get -1. Get 1. -2. 2. -3. This is not right though. Try it. Race car is true. Correct. Foolproof. Palindrome has the wrong value. True. Expect false. One. 1. 0. 0. 1. 2. 3. Ah. -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hum. I think I'm confused because it only the way I wrote it, it only checks the first character, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Anyway, I stop here. I stop here for today. I do more tomorrow. I think about it. Goodbye.